Yeah, how to get your business online fast and cheap. Welcome to everybody who's here. Thanks to Iconic Offices for asking me to present today, and Christina and Michelle for helping me to produce the webinar. So just quickly, a little bit about myself. Okay, so my name is Diane Higgins. I'm a freelance graphic and web designer based in Cork. I have experience in a number of disciplines, from design to digital marketing. I'm currently studying a master's in digital marketing strategy in CIT. Mostly I work with startups and SMEs to refine their marketing and create visuals that communicate their brand message. So working with startups allows me to be at my most creative, working with the brand from the beginning. Having the experience to build their brand along with their website allows me to create consistency for clients when they're starting off. So please feel free to use the chat and to ask any questions that you may have. Okay, so objectives. So by the end of this session, we will have gone through the following items. First, establish why you want to take your business online. Learn about some of the different platforms. What are the advantages and disadvantages of each platform? What are the associated costs of each platform? How to set up a website, a basic website on WordPress.com, and how to set up an e-commerce store on Shopify. Okay, so this is digital utopia. This world is where we would all have a presence on all of the channels, and we'd have a fancy website and a regular newsletter promoting our business and bringing engaging content to our customers as part of a well thought out marketing strategy. But that may not leave enough time for you to actually run your business. So you need to consider your business, and you need to consider what would be the best fit for your business, but also where your own skills and your in-house competencies lie. So some people are really great at posting on social media, but they're not so good then at the technical stuff. Others would prefer to have an official website that they know how to make simple changes on, but they don't want to have the always-on nature of social media. So I suppose the first thing you need to think about is, what does your business need? And then you need to think about, how does this fit your own capabilities? Okay, so why do you want to take your business online? Okay, so one of the reasons, I suppose, is COVID-19. So the impact of the coronavirus has taught us the value of having our businesses online now more than ever before. So traditional bricks and mortar businesses have suffered as a result of COVID-19. So before, I guess, some bricks and mortar businesses haven't felt the need to go online because they haven't been an online business. But I suppose people have learned over the past couple of months that maybe there is a need to go online. So we've seen so many businesses being really creative with their traditional businesses and going online with new ways of selling their products and selling their services. Restaurants selling, take-home boxes and things like that. So COVID-19 has also affected many of the other reasons for going online indirectly as well. Word of mouth networking. So as I know myself as a freelancer, running your business from home is not very easy at the best of times. But usually you can get out there and you can network with people, and you can meet people and keep your business in the forefront of people's mind by talking to people, going to events and all that. And now that this has not been possible, it may be more difficult to get your business name out there. And if you're a business that traditionally relied on word of mouth referrals, so the lack of your clients meeting up with others may have also resulted in a loss of business. So perhaps LinkedIn should be your online platform of choice if this is what you're looking for. So I do a lot of my business through LinkedIn, and alternatively, like a local networking Facebook group might be the way to go. So starting out or establishing yourself online. So I think somebody mentioned there, that there's an expectation to go online. So a natural part of starting your business is to design your logo and set up your website, and off you go. So you need somewhere for your customers to go when they Google your business, and you want to be found online so that your potential customers don't go elsewhere. So a basic website that you design yourself on WordPress.com may be all you need to get you up and running. So I'll go through this in depth later on. So selling online. So you may have previously sold your products in store, and you may want to expand selling online to expand into national or global markets, or you may want to streamline your shipping methods and your order system. So Shopify is an online platform that you can set up your own e-commerce store, and it's very easy to use. So I will go through this later on as well. Digital businesses. So there are now a number of online digital only businesses, such as digital products, online courses, online professional services, etc. So if you're selling an online only product or service, you must consider your online presence very carefully, and you need to choose the right platforms for you. So perhaps an online marketplace such as Etsy is the way to go for this if you're selling, craft products or digital downloads. Communication. So you may not be changing anything about how you operate your business or how you sell your products or services, but you may want to get better with your customers. So you may even already have a website. And as things are changing so rapidly at the moment, with closures and different business hours and restrictions on people entering stores, it's important that customers know what is happening with your business and feel that they're aware of any new developments. So there are loads of ways to do this. So through email, through social media, or just by updating your own website regularly with up-to-date information. So advertising as well. So you may decide that you want to advertise online using Google Ads or social media advertising. Now, I won't be covering this aspect in the introduction, but it will be important if you are advertising online that you have somewhere to direct people who see your adverts. So do you create a landing page on your current website, or do you direct them to your Facebook page? So these things need to be considered, definitely. Okay, so email. So email is one of the simplest ways of communicating with your customers. So it'll mean that you will need a database of customers that's GDPR compliant. So have a look on dataprotection.ie, and put simply, really, your customers need to have opted in to receive email from you. So you need to have an opt-in option where they tick box and agree that they will agree to get emails from you. So you could use MailChimp, so free email software. So MailChimp is really easy to use, it's very user-friendly. It's free for up to 500 contacts. So if you have 500 or less people on your email list, and if you send less than 6,000 emails per month. So 6,000 is a fair amount of emails to be sending out a month. Or if you don't want to use MailChimp, MailChimp is really good. Now it has got a little bit more limited in the last number of years, where they're kind of pushing the premium a little bit more. So you can do slightly less than you could do, but it's still a very good option. The other alternative is that you can just keep it simple, or you could just write a plain email like you would to a friend, and just write the information about your business as you would do. So a couple of points to bear in mind if you're using this method to communicate with people is not to overload people with information, as there is a bit of an overwhelm right now with everybody emailing their customers all the time. So keep it short, say what you need to say, and offer a contact method for further queries. So this could be your website, your social media, the option to reply to the email. So just let them know if they have any further questions, just hit reply, or your contact number. So whichever of those options really is the most likely to have the information that they will need when they need it. And don't contact them by email too often. So please bear in mind that you can't just list the email addresses of your customers so that everybody can see each other. So you can't just write a list of all your customers and send it to everybody, because that wouldn't comply with GDPR, and it's quite unprofessional looking. So if you're unsure how to do this with your email provider, for each email provider would be a little bit different into how you actually do this. So just Google it, how to send an email while keeping the recipients private, and test it first just to make sure that it's working. Okay, so social media. So if you don't have a list of customers' emails, so social media is a very good bet as well for communication. So it's very simple as well, and it's free to get set up apart from your time. So depending on where your customers are, you can choose which social media platform best suits. So Facebook is really good for B2C businesses, and traditional bricks and mortar businesses can connect really well with customers using Facebook pages through posting content, images, videos, as well as competitions. And now Facebook have Facebook shops where you can sell online from your Facebook page. LinkedIn is great for business-to-business services, businesses that have a personal element. So I myself use LinkedIn an awful lot. It's also a great place to expand your network if networking and word of mouth is the reason that you're actually going online. Instagram is really good for any business that has a visual element, which, being a graphic designer, I think is most businesses really, but there are some businesses that do lend themselves well to Instagram. So lifestyle businesses, fashion, design, wedding, photography, anything that has a strong emphasis on visual, because content will come really easily to those businesses for Instagram. So Twitter is really good for engaging with customers in the now. So it's very good for businesses that have an in-the-moment nature, such as public services, the media, etc. So then there's Pinterest, there's other industry-specific social media. So they're all good depending for what your industry is. So you need to kind of figure out where your customers are and try and go there. So TikTok and Snapchat again for younger generations. Now I suspect if your customers are on TikTok and Snapchat, then you're probably already online. So again, just try and think of where your customers are going to be, and that's where you need to be. So the advantages of social media, it's really good for interacting with customers. So if customers are spending their time here, then it's easier for them to find you. Again, you don't need a website, and it's easy to set up a page or business profile or company page on LinkedIn. It's a real-time solution, which means that you can capture your audience's attention in the moment. There are opportunities to advertise within most of the platforms that give you good insights on the audience that you wish to advertise to, and there are good analytics available afterwards that you can use when planning your future efforts. Okay, so a couple of disadvantages. So Facebook and Instagram, they don't really get on really well with Google, so they don't really love each other. So no matter how good your pages are on Facebook or how many followers you have on Instagram, it's not going to help your SEO. So LinkedIn is a little bit better for getting found on Google. They seem to like each other a little bit more. Also, content is king. So creating content for these platforms is key. And often people don't have time to be constantly updating their social media when they're running a business. So I did do a webinar last Thursday on easy DIY content creation. So it was recorded. So if you missed it, you'll be able to watch it back on the Iconic Offices events page. So you can watch this one back here too. So if you have a look at this, it might help when creating content if you don't know where to start. So a great tool that I go through in this webinar is canva.com. So if you want to watch that back or any of the events on the Iconic page. So also there's restrictions on the types of products that you can sell. So particularly on your Facebook page. So if you look up Facebook's terms and conditions, there's a full list of prohibited items. So there's a few things that you can't sell on your Facebook page. And one of the other disadvantages as well is for some this isn't important, but for some it is. So you don't own the platform, and sometimes on social media people can turn a little bit nasty. So you just need to consider this because you may not have much control over what people are saying in the comments and stuff like that. Okay, so another one is third-party marketplace listing. So examples of these are the likes of industry specific, so like Etsy for the global crafts market, wedding dates for the national wedding industry, local directories such as Just Eat for restaurants that are around your location, wherever you're living, and the restaurants that are nearby, product specific directories, so Amazon or eBay. Okay, so advantages of these kinds of third-party marketplace listings. So you're piggybacking their marketing, which gives you access to their customer base. So which, depending on the market, can save you a lot of money in advertising on Google Ads. So if there's high value keywords, so they do the marketing for you, and then the customers come to you. Another advantage is that you don't have to have your own website. They make it very easy for you to set up an account and to upload your products and subscriptions. You get a page that you can direct people to from other online platforms, such as you can direct people from your social media to your Etsy shop, so then people can purchase your products directly from your Etsy shop without a website. Payment, they will sort out the payment from the customer to you, which saves you having to process the payments yourself. Some of the disadvantages, so there's a lot of competition on these websites for customers, so things like getting excellent reviews or choosing to advertise within their platform can boost your views. You will need to put time into making sure that your listings are written to enable users to find your products over competition. So especially when you start out and you don't have a solid reputation, you need really good customer service, and you need to get those reviews in. Price is a major factor for these kinds of websites as well. So customers can just click on to the next company, try and find a better price for a similar product. So these aren't great then for most service-based businesses. So costs associated, so you save on website development costs and hosting costs, domain charges and things like that. But you do then have to pay a percentage of sales and some transaction fees depending on which platform that you're going on. Okay, so a DIY website. So you can do a DIY website on WordPress using a template. So like I will go through shortly. There are other sites as well that aren't WordPress, so such as Wix or Weebly, Squarespace. So a website like this, it may be just to give information or to have an online presence, or if you spend some time on it, you can make a pretty good website using these templates. It's actually pretty easy to do. So the advantages are that it's easy to learn with a bit of time and effort. It will be your website, so you will have a say in how it looks, what goes on, what goes on there and what doesn't go on there. The cost, so it's pretty much free to build your own website from a template. Now there may be costs for extra features or premium templates and stuff like that, but you can get basically a free website. There's no domain charges, there's no hosting costs, and you get the secure badge from the security without having to pay extra each year. They look after all the technical support, so you don't need to worry about the servers or any of the technical stuff. And you can get your own free domain, but it will include .wordpress.com. But you can also buy domains that don't include those for a little bit extra. Okay, so disadvantages. So there are some limited templates that are free. Once you set it up, it may be a little bit more difficult to change to a different template if you change your mind. So you probably want to decide on your template before you start building your website. It will take a cost to you in terms of time to learn the basics and to set it up and to update it. So if you haven't done it before, it may not look the most professional when compared with other websites. But again, if you keep playing around with it, you can get it to look pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to go through WordPress.com setup quickly now. So we have a little bit to get through, so I'm just going to show you how to get started, and what I would recommend then would be that you would have a play around with it yourself and kind of start to just, I suppose, look at the different options and start to build there yourself once you have time to kind of just mess around with it, really. Learn by doing. Okay, so you just click on let's get started and you follow the steps here. So you sign up for your account, so you choose your domain name. So this is I just picked Diane Higgins Cork. So you can get a free one-year domain name with any paid plan, but you can also get the .wordpress.com domain name. Okay, so you select your WordPress.com plan. So this will be to get the free website. You click on the red text at the top here that says start with a free site. Okay, so then in here, this is your dashboard then. Okay, so it's a really good idea then to have your dashboard open in one tab and the website URL. So that's the .wordpress.com domain name that you have. So if you open that in a second tab in your browser, so if you open one of each, you can refresh. You can refresh the live website anytime you make a change, and then you can see the changes being made on live as soon as you implement them. Now, don't worry that nobody else will be able to see them yet until you launch your website. So the next thing that you do is you choose your theme. So down on the left-hand side here, you can see all of the different options here. So what you need to do once you go into your dashboard is literally go through these options and click into each one, and then basically change everything as you go. So I would start with the theme again. So it's very difficult to change the theme once you start. So have a look through the different themes. Have a look through. There's a good few free themes. Have a look and see which one you think fits your idea of your website the best. So it's best to do this at the beginning, and then you'll see which kind of information that you will need for that theme. So once you have your theme chosen, then so you go through the different dashboard options on the left-hand side, and then you fill in the information on the center pane, and then you save as you go. So then you go into your settings once you're happy with your content, and then you launch your website. So you will need to have confirmed your email address to be able to do this, and it will get you to choose. It will try to get you to choose a payment plan again, because it wants you to pay, obviously. So again, you click the start with the free plan option on the top as before, and then so you will need to just choose under the settings tab. You will need to choose the public option under privacy. So this will enable the search engines to index your website, and this will make the site go live, meaning that people will be able to see your website and search engines will be able to see your website. So that is your first website then built, which is pretty easy really when you think about it. Okay, so the next thing is a DIY e-commerce website. So this is what I'm going to show you here now is Shopify. So it's an e-commerce website builder that allows you to very easily set up your own online store. So this is when you're kind of selling products. Now you can do that on WordPress.com through a plugin with WooCommerce, but if you're going to be selling online, Shopify is probably one of the easier platforms to set up, especially yourself. So it's really good for if you haven't sold online before, but now you want to. So you can do a free trial of Shopify for 14 days without entering any credit card details. So this will allow you time to create your shop and upload your products before going live. But remember that there are monthly charges after this. So they're from $29 up to about $300. So $29 for the basic plan, which is pretty good. That's per month, and then a percentage of your earnings will also go to Shopify. So I think for the basic plan, that's about 2.5%. And then a transaction fee then as well per transaction of 25 cents. So those charges do add up. So I would recommend that you just consider them when you are kind of producing your business model. Okay, so you just go to shopify.com. So you start your free trial, and then you enter your details, so your email address, your password, and you come up with your store name. So obviously you'll have to just maybe try a couple of times to get a store name that isn't taken. And then you just enter your information. So again, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your industry? And you address so that you can get paid. And then you will come to your dashboard. So I'm just going to go on to, now I set up a free trial yesterday just for demonstration purposes. So I'm just going to go onto my dashboard there. And I am going to just show you quickly. Okay, so I have 13 days left on my free trial. So this is what your dashboard looks like here. Can you see this? Okay. Okay, so down here on the left-hand side is where all of your kind of items are. So this is how you would basically run your shop. So your orders and your products and everything comes in here. And then on the bottom part here is your online store. So this is where you build your online store. And so again, similar to the WordPress, what I would recommend would be that you would open this. So this icon here is where you can see your online shop that you're currently setting up. So I just set this up yesterday. I chose a theme, but I'll show you how to do that anyway in a second. So I just opened that in another tab. Sorry, no. Okay, so it's coming up here. So as I make changes here, then I will be able to go and check my online store just to see that the changes are coming on. Okay, so again, so choosing a theme is very important in Shopify as well. So if you click on online store, you get a second menu here, which deals with all of your online store aspects. So when you go here into themes, so I clicked on a theme there yesterday, but you can just have a look here at the different themes. So if you go in here, there's a theme library. So these are the premium themes and these are the free themes. So if you go in here to explore free themes, again, now there is a very limited amount of free themes in Shopify because they want you to start paying for them. But there are enough that you can get started. You can just choose your theme here. I chose Boundless, and then you go in here and you can customize your theme. So within this tab here, so this is where you can have a look at you can change your logo, you can change your text and everything like that. So I just put up something random, fashion is emotion. So in here in the slideshow, so you can go through all of those, you can change your slides. So these are all kind of the technical stuff, but if you go through each one bit by bit, in here you have your images. So I just chose that from the free library, but again, you can change that. So there's a library of free images. So again, women's fashion, you can click on any of those here. That was the one that I chose, but you can click on any of them and you can select. And okay, maybe that one might not be the best fit for, so you can go back in and change it. And you can show that you think it might work better on the slide. Okay, so that looks nice. And you can see how it looks on your website. Again, so you can go down here, I can save, change is saved, and you can go back in here and you can change any of the aspects of your homepage here. So t-shirts are great. So in here, enrich text is this section. So it goes through from the top to the bottom. every aspect of your website. So if you click in here, so this is, use this text to share information about your brand. So you can go in, I just have some fake text here. So I can copy this and I can add it in here. And I can have that as my text. So once you have all of your kind of text written out and you know what you're going to say, you can just add it in here and you can just do your homepage that way. So if you go through each aspect of your homepage, that's very easy to set up. And then if you go back, so in order to add my products then, which is obviously important, you go back up to the top, up here. So in your homepage, now there's a product section, so you can just go here as well, add your products. So add a product. So this is very easy, it's very self-explanatory. So the title of your product, short sleeve t-shirt, your description again. So I'm just going to put in my text here. I'm going to put in again t-shirts. And so you can come down here. So this is where you add all of your images. So I'm just going to add an image here. So you just click on add file. And again, I can add an image of my t-shirt, or you can drag and drop. Okay, so I have a few variations. You can also add them from a URL if you have your images hosted somewhere. So you can set your price here. So I'm going to sell my t-shirt maybe for €10. And if it was on sale before, so if the €10 is the sale price, I can say that it's reduced from €20 down to €10. And then, so customers won't see this part. So this is your cost per item. So this will help you to work out your margins and everything like that. So I'm buying my t-shirts for €6, and I want to charge tax. So again, you go through each item bit by bit, and eventually you'll start to build up your product. So you can put in individual SKUs for each of your items. Okay, so how many t-shirts do I have available? So, you know, do I have one in stock? No, I think maybe I have 20 in stock. So I can tell it that, so that the stock control is looked after for me. Again, for shipping, you can put in your weight. You can put in what country, you know, we're starting from, and then you can put in your variants here. So if your product has multiple options, so again, size, so you separate options with the comma. So within this, I have small available, I have medium, and I have large. And then you can add another option for another variant. So I had a green one, I think. Okay, so green, brown, and I think I had a blue one. Okay, so there you go. So those are all the different options. And again, you can go down through here. So I can charge a different price, and I can tell them what quantity I have of the small brown, what quantity I have of the small blue, the green, etc., etc. And here it has actually given me generated SKUs for me as well, but you can put in your own individual ones that you have in your actual store, or you can create your own. And again, you can edit for your SEO down here. So you can just click on save, and that is your product for your store. So when I go to my live version of it, this product now should be after updating you can see this URL has changed here. And here is my product. So we can see here that it's on sale, and it was €20, now €10, and it has all of the information here now. And so you can start adding it to your cart. You can buy with PayPal. So your product has been added there. Okay. So within this, sorry, now just 1 second. Okay, so you need to then go into your settings. So you go down, sorry, you go down to your settings down here, and again, you go through all of these options here. So you set up your payments and everything like that, and then you will be able to launch your store. So you'll have to go in then to select a plan, and to start, in order for it to be available online, you'll have to go in then to select a plan and then set up your payment and everything like that, and then you'll be able to sell online. And when you're managing all your orders and stuff, all of that comes in up here, so you'll be able to see in terms of stock and shipping and all of that is available up here. So that's just a quick tour of Shopify, but again, like any of the other, I suppose, software online and stuff, you just need to kind of have a look, play around with it, sign up for the free plan. You don't have to enter your credit card details anyway, so you can just have a look at it and kind of just get a feel for it and start setting up your shop. And once you're ready, then you can just launch it. Okay, so I'm just going to stop that again. And okay. Okay, so the last thing then is, I guess, if you're kind of struggling with any of these, that you can get some help. So one of the options, I suppose, is to check who you have in-house if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. Sometimes there are people, staff members, that are tech friendly or do kind of things like this on the side, and that would be able to find their way around it. And sometimes as well, people are looking for that little bit of extra responsibility, so would be happy to do it. Again, and so you can upskill. There's lots and lots of postgraduate courses in website design, digital marketing, depending on what online platforms that you're looking for. There's lots of online courses, further education colleges, and Skillnets do a lot of really good courses as well. So you can hire a professional like me, obviously, and your local enterprise board as well. So there's lots of supports available as well for people, especially at the moment. So after the COVID kind of lockdown started coming in and stuff, and people were kind of working from home and online became important. So the local enterprise boards then, they changed their trading online vouchers. So you used to be able to get up to 50% up to 2,500, whereas now it's up to 90% up to 2,500. So it can really help with your costs if you do want to hire somebody to sort out your getting online for you, or you can use it for to pay for some of your Shopify charges and things like that. So it is very good just to have a look at your local enterprise and keep in touch with them. Okay, so that's it really. So thanks for participating today. And thanks again to Iconic Offices, and I hope it was very beneficial to you. Please connect with me on LinkedIn, so Diane Higgins Cork, and I'll send on my slides to Christina so she can send them on to you as well. And this is being recorded for your information, I suppose, so if you're going through any of the steps yourself, you can watch it back. And that's it, so please feel free to get in touch if you have any further questions.